Good morning, YouTube. Pipe Poppy 73 here, coming at you from the truck this morning. Thought I'd try something different, just to keep the general level of interest up. Change the environment, change the settings. Got the truck cob going this morning with some bulk vintage Syrian. I guess I should turn it around so you can read it. That I got from local brick and mortar and have been enjoying immensely. Also, it taught me that I really like this tobacco, so I've put a number of tins in the cellar. Just a couple of quick things this morning. Want you to go over and look at Ben the Bagged Piper on his channel. He's doing a raffle for a fellow YouTube pipe community member, Danny Shore, I believe is the fellow's name, who's had some medical issues, and Ben's doing a raffle to try and raise some money for him, help him out. Please go over and check that channel out and see what Ben's got going on. I think it's worthwhile that we can try and help one another out through this community. The other thing, Bic. But I will use Ronson, I will use Zippo, I will use kitchen matches, I will use about anything that gives me a spark to light up a bowl. I'm content. I ran across a website the other day that I wanted to throw at you called tobaccoseller.com, I think, which is kind of an interesting thing. I haven't really fully checked it out, but it looks to be a place, among many other things that it is, where folks can record online their tobacco sellers, which I thought was kind of fascinating to look at. Justin Taylor, don't worry about having tobacco acquisition disorder. There's one guy on there that has, I think, 697 pounds of tobacco in his tobacco cellar. My guess is you got a ways to go, my friend. But it got me to thinking, 697 pounds of tobacco, almost 700 pounds of tobacco. So I started doing a little math, and I figure I smoke probably around an ounce a week, some weeks a little more, some weeks a little less. And that comes out to, of course, 52 ounces a year, which is about 3¼ pounds of pipe tobacco a year that I smoke when I can keep the pipe lit. $3¼ pounds, or 3 pounds, let's make it the math easy, into 700. That's more than 200 years it would take me to smoke that much tobacco, which is not a bad goal to have, but probably not very realistic given my current age. So going from there, I started looking at the amount of tobacco that I actually have in my cellar, which pales in comparison to that 700 pounds. Counting the jars and the tins that I currently have, I have somewhere around 13 pounds of tobacco. And that doesn't include my open jars and my blending mixes, which is probably another 3 pounds of tobacco. So 16 pounds of tobacco. I could not buy another bit of tobacco starting today, except I already placed an order last night, and not need any more tobacco for the next 5 years, at just approximately 5 years at the rate that I currently smoke. So that brings up the question of, how much more do I need to buy? I've got 5 years worth of tobacco sitting on the shelves in there, which to me is a pretty amazing amount of tobacco to have. Now, yeah, some of it I really do want to let age. I'd like to get a year or two on some of it just to see what the differences would be. But, you know, I don't know. That's just kind of throwing some math at you this morning. Just kind of a fun, happy moment thinking about how much I have in the cellar and the pleasure I'm going to get from doing it and using it here over the next 5 years. Needless to say, I'm probably going to continue to buy it, but probably not in the quantities that I've been storing up recently. I'll keep you posted on that. I'll let you know how that goes. Anyway, it's Tuesday morning in western North Carolina, and the birds are singing, the sun is shining, there's no rain in the current forecast. Doesn't mean we won't get a storm late in the day, but right now there's no rain predicted, so we're drying out nicely. The rivers are beginning to subside, and the creeks are going back into their banks, and things are looking pretty good. Temperatures this morning in the high 50s, which is pretty unusual for early June, but very pleasant. Actually had to throw a sweatshirt on when I first got up this morning, and that's never a bad thing. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you for joining me here in the cab of the truck this morning, and as always, peace to everybody, and be kind.